Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller, basketball player.
A young baller.
That was the quote that was in the news. It said a young baller. I'm assuming they meant basketball player. The internet has been crazy the last couple of days about this Vanessa Bryant story. I know y'all have heard it at this point. There was a rumor going on for the last like 3 or 4 days that Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant, was pregnant. Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller, basketball player.
A young baller.
That was the quote that was in the news. It said a young baller. I'm assuming they meant basketball player. True. What's interesting to me, though, is people's reaction to it. Like, people were bent out of shape, especially dudes were like really, really bent out of shape at the idea that Vanessa Bryant could.
Vanessa Bryant's name and her love life has been blowing up online this week, but nobody saw it coming when LeBron James slid right into the drama. The NBA icon just dropped a bomb, revealing who Vanessa's new man and alleged baby daddy really is. And let's just say those whispers about him being a younger baller might not be as far-fetched as people thought. I've got the tea on exactly who this mystery man is and why so many folks are fired up about it. This wasn't just your usual celebrity chatter. It hit the basketball world like a thunderclap. Whispers turned into one of the most jaw-dropping claims the NBA's seen in years.
Set it off on you.
It's just right, though.
I see saying Stevie J was wild for marrying Faith.
Why?
Because he worked with Big before? Because of the whole Big relationship.
What started as casual talk about Vanessa's personal life quickly morphed into a firestorm after reports claimed LeBron himself finally broke his silence, spilling details that could rattle the very core of Lakers royalty. It all began in early June 2025, when online buzz suggested Vanessa might be expecting her 5th child with a younger NBA player. But what sent the internet into meltdown mode was the jaw-dropper that LeBron, who stayed completely silent on the Bryant's private life since Kobe's passing, allegedly decided it was time to speak up. At first, the whispers stayed vague. All anyone said was it was a younger NBA player, supposedly 27 years old. But once the story caught fire on social media, the details got juicier and the source, way more shocking than anyone expected. Turns out the name being floated around wasn't just from some random blogger, it was tied to LeBron James himself. We're talking about a man who's spent his whole career mastering not just the game, but his image, always keeping things smooth with players, teams, and the media.
It's just because we know some here are able to help the family without getting in the bed with the girl.
Wait, so because I'm fascinated by these rules, because even Parks got a rule. You're okay with it as long.
The thought that he'd break that ironclad code to spill private tea about Kobe Bryant's widow, that's a plot twist nobody saw coming. And then came the bomb. Insiders claim LeBron allegedly let it slip that the player in question was none other than Jaylen Brown. The timing of this revelation couldn't have been wilder. Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's widow since the tragic January 2020 helicopter crash that took him and their daughter Gianna, is now raising their 3 daughters. Natalia, 22, Bianca, 8, and Capri, 5.
If your wife passed away, you're not supposed to best friend, because that's just what it is.
Ever since that heartbreaking day, she's kept her image pristine, focusing on family, charity work through the Mamba and Mamba Cheetah Sports Foundation, and carrying Kobe's legacy like a crown. Her shift from private wife to public powerhouse has been one of the most talked about transformations in sports. Every move Vanessa makes, every deal she signs, every red carpet she steps on, every post she drops gets picked apart by millions. To fans, she's not just Kobe's widow, she's the keeper of his legacy. So the idea that she could be linked romantically to another NBA player.
Me and Kobe, besides our, the late great Kobe, obviously, me and Kobe never had a real relationship.
And that LeBron James might be the one exposing it, hit every nerve in the basketball world. This so-called LeBron revelation carried the weight of insider knowledge that had fans and players alike in shock. The moment the whispers started, content creators went into overdrive, pumping out videos loaded with bold claims about LeBron finally breaking his silence on Vanessa's love life. The narrative catching fire, that LeBron, the face of the Lakers, the man who's always kept a respectful rapport with the Bryant family, had decided to spill private details he'd supposedly been holding back. And this wasn't just gossip. it hinted at a shift in the fragile balance of power inside the Lakers, where Kobe's legacy still casts a giant shadow over every choice, every alliance, and every word spoken. If true, this would mean LeBron stepped beyond the invisible line of respect and loyalty that's defined his bond with the Bryant family for years. What made the story so gripping was that it wasn't built on fantasy. It leaned on real relationships, real interactions, and the kind of trust that, if broken, could never be repaired. LeBron's bond with the Bryant family has always looked rock solid. He's spoken about Kobe as a mentor, backed their foundation, hugged Vanessa's daughters courtside, even sharing moments with them at events like the 2023 NBA All-Star Game. That warmth and history made the idea of him having insider tea feel all too believable to a lot of fans. LeBron and Kobe's relationship was never simple. It was layered. They shared mutual respect, but there was always that natural tension between a legend wrapping up his career and a young superstar rising fast. Their connection during the 2008 Olympics, followed by years of mentorship, built a trust that went beyond the court and extended to their families. When LeBron signed with the Lakers in 2018, things got even deeper. Kobe became an unofficial advisor, and LeBron positioned himself as the next king of Lakers Nation. But as the baby daddy rumors swirled, one name kept coming up over and over: Jaylen Brown. That wasn't just gossip about a player. It was loaded with symbolism. Brown is a Celtics star, and the Celtics are the Lakers' historic rivals. If Vanessa's linked to him, it wouldn't just be a personal choice. It'd be a shockwave through basketball culture, raising questions about the Bryant family's loyalty to the purple and gold legacy. The public's reaction to these alleged revelations was instant and explosive. Social media lit up, proving just how deeply people feel about Vanessa Bryant and her place as Kobe's widow. This wasn't just about basketball. It cracked open deeper conversations about how society views widowhood, especially for high-profile women of color in the spotlight. The emotions were raw, the opinions divided, and the debates ruthless.
Never had a real relationship either until we was on the Olympic team. We had a great relationship there, but it was always competitive between us. Until I became a Laker and then he retired, that's when our relationship became really, he welcomed me, called me bro, anything you need in LA, I got you. You're a Laker now, you family.
The alleged tea also stirred old tensions woven into Lakers history. LeBron and Kobe's relationship had always been a mix of competition and mentorship, but the idea that LeBron might have been the one sharing private details about Kobe's widow added a whole new layer of drama that no one was ready for. This hinted at something bigger, possible cracks in the carefully polished harmony between the Bryant legacy and the current Lakers era. It exposed that invisible rulebook about high-profile relationships, especially when they involve legends who are no longer here. If LeBron really was the source, it wasn't just about gossip. It raised burning questions about boundaries, loyalty, and what should stay locked inside the Lakers family vault. And the timing, the context, that's what made the story feel like it was more than just random chatter. It felt like a calculated earthquake. Suddenly, videos started popping up claiming LeBron had actually confronted Vanessa about her pregnancy on Instagram Live. The internet was eating it up, painting a picture of real-time drama between two of the most powerful figures in Lakers history. The storyline catching fire? That LeBron felt he had to speak out, either to protect Kobe's legacy or to shield the Lakers' image from fallout. If that were true, it would mark a moment unlike anything the modern NBA has ever seen. The idea that a current superstar would openly challenge the personal decisions of a beloved legend's widow was jaw-dropping. It could be seen as a bold act of honesty or a massive breach of respect and unspoken rules. Social media ran with it like wildfire. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all overflowing with creators dissecting every public moment between LeBron and Vanessa. Old photos and clips were suddenly being dug up and reframed as proof of hidden tension or deeper ties. Even the smallest gestures, a handshake, a sideline glance, a friendly hug, were being broken down like they were clues in some high-stakes mystery. Fans were building entire timelines, connecting dots that might never have even been there. But once the seed was planted, the theory had a life of its own. Fans weren't just gossiping anymore. They were crafting full-blown conspiracy maps about the real connection between LeBron's camp and the Bryant family. Then, the international media jumped in, with outlets from the US to Europe and Asia blasting headlines about the alleged revelations and what they could mean for both Vanessa's image and LeBron's legacy. This wasn't your average sports tea. It had evolved into a worldwide debate about privacy, loyalty, and the heavy responsibilities that come with being tied to beloved icons. And the wild part? These claims started reshaping how people interpreted old moments that never seemed suspicious before. The Bryant estate split from Nike in 2021 suddenly got reimagined as being tied to LeBron's own Nike deal. Vanessa's memorial speech, which some felt left LeBron's role underplayed, was now being picked apart for hidden meaning. Even LeBron's friendship with Kobe was suddenly being reread like a tense chess game instead of a brotherhood. By the time the alleged LeBron revelations hit peak frenzy, the entire basketball world was on edge waiting for Vanessa's move. But no one could have predicted that her response would flip the entire script and set a brand new standard for surviving public controversy in the digital era. Vanessa's comeback wasn't just a denial, it was a full-on strategic nuke. She didn't just swat the rumor away, she dismantled it piece by piece, exposing how the whole story had been manufactured while flexing a level of media mastery that even veteran PR pros had to respect. In those tense days before she spoke, the pressure on her was unreal. The gossip machine had evolved from harmless chatter into a full-blown conspiracy web, linking every part of her life to possible NBA romances. And the kicker, the alleged LeBron connection gave the whole mess a fake aura of credibility that plain gossip could never pull off. What made it even more dangerous was the international reach. This wasn't just American sports tea anymore. It was headline news around the globe.
He was known as a fierce competitor on the basketball court. The greatest of all time, a writer, an Oscar winner, and the Black Mamba.
Suddenly, people in different countries were debating not just her love life, but deep topics like privacy, respect, and how widows in the public eye should be treated. And because Kobe's name carries weight worldwide, Vanessa knew she was speaking to more than just basketball fans. She was addressing an audience with wildly different cultural expectations. Meanwhile, the clock was ticking on the business side. Every day without a response gave the rumor more room to grow, risking the Mamba and Mamba Cheetah Sports Foundation's pristine reputation and even threatening future deals tied to Kobe's legacy. The airtight brand control the Bryant estate had kept since Kobe's passing was suddenly under heavy fire.
Called me like, bro, anything you need in LA, like, I got you. You're a Laker now, you fam.
And the usual PR playbook, it wasn't built for a storm like this. Then came Vanessa's move, one that nobody saw coming. Instead of holding a press conference or dropping a lawyer-polished statement, she went straight to Instagram stories, the most fleeting, casual tool in the social media arsenal. In a world where celebs fight major scandals with paragraphs of carefully vetted text, Vanessa chose disappearing images that vanish in 24 hours. Her opening shot, a meme of Rihanna, middle finger up, captioned, "Me protecting my peace, not pregnant and having fun all summer." It was pure fire, a masterclass in using visuals to send a message without saying too much. Rihanna's look of raw defiance and effortless confidence became the perfect stand-in for Vanessa's own state of mind. The message landed instantly. She wasn't just denying the rumors, she was shrugging them off with an energy that screamed they weren't even worth her time. And that phrase, "protecting my peace," flipped the whole conversation, shifting it from messy gossip to a personal statement of power and self-control. Vanessa's message was crystal clear. She had zero interest in winning public approval anymore. This wasn't about proving innocence. It was about making it known she didn't owe anyone explanations about her personal life. Her follow-up meme, "I'm not mean, I'm just not the one," added even more bite to her clapback. It was a direct hit at critics who painted her as cold or distant from fans. By borrowing Rihanna's words, she was making a statement. Being strong, setting boundaries, and refusing to entertain nonsense doesn't make you mean. It makes you smart. Then came the third punch, a motivational quote. "The only way to impress me is by being a good person. I don't care what you have, what you wear, where you live, or what you drive. This felt like the sharpest jab yet. A not-so-subtle reminder in the middle of the alleged LeBron mess that fame, money, and rings mean nothing without character and respect. The strategy was genius, and it worked. Twitter, or X, lit up with a split reaction. Half the crowd deep in speculation, the other half fiercely defending her privacy with comments like, "If Vanessa Bryant is pregnant, so TF what?" Some fans clapped back hard with "Foch with them think pieces," while others kept combing through Vanessa's every move, hunting for hidden meanings. On Reddit, the pop culture threads turned into deep dives, not just about her denial, but about her method. Many users recognized the quiet genius in how she handled the storm. People began drawing bigger connections too. One comment read, "My mom's in her 60s, not with anyone, and I'm proud of her," linking Vanessa's situation to the universal challenges widows face everywhere. Her response didn't just address gossip, it exposed how much of this so-called controversy was manufactured. And by never touching the specific allegations about LeBron's supposed revelations, she took full control of her narrative. That silence on the LeBron angle, it might have been her most lethal move yet. It made people wonder, why would she flat out ignore such heavy accusations unless they were too ridiculous to even acknowledge? The lack of engagement flipped the script, putting the burden of proof back on the rumor mill. Her memes weren't just clever, they were a direct attack on the outdated idea that women, especially widows, have to justify their choices to the public. And the timing, flawless. She dropped her posts while at Disneyland with Bianca and Capri, sending a crystal clear message. Her energy is for her family and her peace, not for feeding internet drama. The Disneyland backdrop sent a loud, unspoken message. Vanessa was locked in on making memories with her kids, not wrestling with internet drama. The split between that wholesome family scene and the venom of the rumors couldn't have been sharper. Big-name outlets like US Weekly, E! News, and TMZ rushed to cover her posts, framing them as a clear denial while spotlighting her commitment to privacy and family. But their coverage revealed something surprising. Traditional media wasn't quite ready for this kind of clapback. The meme format didn't fit neatly into the usual PR playbook, making it tricky to analyze through standard crisis management lenses. Even global outlets caught on. The Times of India praised her brilliant reply, noting how she shut down speculation while keeping her dignity intact. That kind of cross-cultural praise proved her move wasn't just smart in an American media context, it worked worldwide. The bigger takeaway? Her response exposed the double standards and control tactics that often target women in the public eye, especially widows. By refusing to even accept the premise that she owed the public an explanation, she flipped the power dynamic and made it clear. Her life, her terms. Vanessa was throwing down a direct challenge to the idea that public figures, especially women, have to explain their personal choices just to keep their place in the spotlight. And the business impact of her move was instant. Instead of letting the rumors keep chipping away at her brand and the Bryant estate, she flipped the whole script in her favor. In a matter of days, the conversation shifted from messy gossip about her love life to outright praise for the way she shut it all down. It was a PR clinic, the kind of move that crisis management pros will be dissecting for years. But the real genius? She understood exactly how power works in the media game right now. By picking the most casual, here today, gone tomorrow platform, Instagram stories. She was quietly saying the entire controversy didn't even deserve permanence. And that was the ultimate mic drop. The rumors might have felt like an earthquake to the people making and consuming them. But to Vanessa, they deserved nothing more than quick, disposable clapbacks. She clearly factored in the emotional impact on her daughters, choosing humor and confidence over defensiveness or rage. By dropping memes while riding rides at Disneyland with her girls, she sent a powerful visual. Family comes first, and outside noise stays exactly where it belongs, outside. It wasn't just a flex, it was a lesson for her kids on how to handle public scrutiny and false claims without losing your cool.
The first thing that comes to mind, man, is all about family. And as I look around this arena, we're all grieving, we're all hurt, we're all heartbroken. When we're going through things like this, the best thing you can do is lean on the shoulders of your family.
When the dust finally settled, it was obvious Vanessa hadn't just shut down this rumor cycle, she'd set new rules for how the public could approach her personal life. The Rihanna memes blew up into a full-blown cultural moment, shared millions of times, always tied to defending her right to privacy and peace. And those alleged LeBron revelations, suddenly they looked flimsy, hollow, and totally manufactured compared to her confident wave-off. But here's the twist. There's still a deeper layer to this story, the part the public hasn't been told, even as Vanessa's meme game crowned her the undeniable winner of this media battle. Behind the public fireworks, a far more complex and calculated story was unfolding. What the world saw was just the tip of an iceberg, one hiding power plays, secret alliances, and quiet rivalries that have been shaping the NBA for years. Those pregnancy rumors and alleged LeBron revelations, they weren't random. They were the visible ripples of a deeper chess match being played at the highest levels of professional basketball. To understand it, you've got to know the network. The web of owners, agents, and media insiders who control how information moves in NBA circles. And in that world, Vanessa Bryant has quietly carved out her own lane since Kobe's passing, building influence without needing permission from the league's usual gatekeepers. Her empire, anchored by the Mamba and Mambachita Sports Foundation, looks like pure philanthropy, but it's also been a masterclass in strategic positioning. Piece by piece, she's built herself into an independent power broker who doesn't need the Lakers organization or its current stars to keep her status intact. And here's the kicker. The timing of these rumors wasn't random at all. They dropped right as major business decisions were brewing behind closed doors. Even her 2021 move to end Kobe's Nike deal wasn't just about creative control, it was about leverage. Cutting the Nike deal wasn't just a branding move, it was about building an independent Mamba empire that could stand on its own, no matter where the Lakers franchise decided to go. And that independence becomes even more critical once you understand the tangled web of competing interests that surrounds every major basketball business deal. Our digging uncovered signs of a calculated campaign, one aimed at testing Vanessa's resolve and possibly steering the direction of the Bryant estate's future. Sources say those pregnancy rumors didn't just pop up on social media, they were planted and pushed by people with real money on the line in how her empire would be run. The alleged LeBron James angle was a masterstroke in manipulation because it worked on multiple fronts. First, tying his name to the whispers made them sound far more credible than typical gossip. Second, it risked sparking tension between LeBron and the Bryant family, a rift that could impact any joint ventures or collaborations. Third, it was a stress test of Vanessa's PR instincts right when she was in the middle of high-stakes negotiations that demanded the public's full trust in her leadership. Inside Laker circles, the relationship map is way more complex than fans realize. What the public thought was a sudden feud between LeBron and Vanessa might actually have been a carefully staged loyalty test for both of them. That delicate balance between the Bryant legacy and the current Lakers regime has stayed intact, maybe even stronger. Industry insiders say Vanessa's meme clapback wasn't just her freestyling on Instagram. It was crafted with the help of a top-tier advisory squad. We're talking PR pros, data analysts, social media tacticians, and even former intelligence operatives trained in information warfare. So no, her response wasn't some casual late-night scroll moment. It was the final product of a calculated plan to shut down a coordinated hit on her reputation while keeping her independence and her dignity fully intact. Behind the scenes, Pau Gasol's role in this saga was huge. As godfather to one of Vanessa's daughters and a trusted figure with deep ties to both the Bryant family and current Lakers players, he became a critical bridge during the storm. Sources say Pau helped make sure her strategy didn't burn any bridges that could harm the long-term relationship between the Bryant estate and the Lakers. And here's the twist. Insiders in the Lakers organization now claim the whole ordeal actually strengthened relationships instead of breaking them.
Kobe is a brother to me, and from the time I was in high school to watching him afar, to getting in this league at 18, watching him up close, all the battles that we had throughout my career, the one thing that we always shared is that determination to just want to win.
LeBron's camp is said to be impressed by how Vanessa handled the firestorm, with growing respect for her strategic brain and sharp communication game. The drama that was meant to cause cracks instead turned into a public show of unity and mutual respect. Even the generational impact is real. Natalia, now 22, saw her mom handle a full-blown media crisis with grace, strategy, and control. That's a leadership blueprint she'll carry into her own public and business life. Behind closed doors, there are whispers of possible defamation suits and investigations into the people who planted and spread the lies. The precision of the attack points to an organized effort, and if those names ever come out, the legal consequences could get serious. At the end of the day, those pregnancy rumors and the alleged LeBron revelations, they were just the first moves in a much bigger, much more calculated game. This story isn't really about celebrity gossip. It's about power, influence, and the art of protecting legacies in today's media war zone. Vanessa didn't just defend herself, she set a new gold standard for how to win without losing your peace. If you were hooked on this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment. Because trust me, this saga isn't over yet.